Hi everyone, this is K.C. Koteshwaramma, Assistant Professor of EC Department from Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Today I would like to explain about Ampere's circuit law. Ampere's circuit law is used to explain about the characteristic parameters of magnetostatic fields. This is an alternative law for Biot-Savart's law. The major difference between this law and Biot-Savart's law is Ampere's circuit law is applicable only when the current distribution is symmetrical. But whereas Biot-Savart's law is applicable for both symmetrical and asymmetrical current distributions. So first we will go through the statement of Ampere's circuit law, and then we can go for mathematical expression for the same statement. Finally, that will give us the third Maxwell's equation. Now first we will go to the statement of Ampere's circuit law. Ampere's circuit law states that the line integral of the tangential component of H, here H is magnetic field strength, around a closed path is same as the net current I enclosed by that path. So here the magnetic field strength H around a closed path is equal to current enclosed. The same is given in the mathematical form by equation 1. Here closed integral H dot dl equals to I enclosed. Here this integration is over a closed path. And if you take Ampere's law, this law is similar to Gauss law in case of electrostatic fields. There also Gauss law is applicable for symmetrical charge distributions. The major difference between Ampere's circuit law or Ampere's law and Gauss law is Gauss law is applicable for symmetrical charges, but whereas Ampere's law, or the other name for Ampere's law is Ampere's circuit law, that is applicable when the current distribution is symmetrical. Gauss law is for symmetrical charges and Ampere's law is for symmetrical currents. Now by taking the mathematical expression for Ampere's circuit law, we have to derive the third Maxwell's equation. So here mathematical expression for Ampere's circuit law is closed integral H dot dl. This one, closed integral H dot dl over a line is equal to I enclosed. Now, I would like to expand this closed integral H dot dl by applying Stokes theorem. What Stokes theorem says is, Stokes theorem gives the relation between line integral and surface integral. Line integral of a vector equal to divergence of the same vector over the surface. So from the Stokes law, closed integral H dot dl over the line can be replaced with, or we can equate that to divergence of H over the surface. So closed integral H dot dl over line equal to del cross H dot ds over surface. That is similar to I enclosed. Now I am trying to take I enclosed in terms of current density, surface current density. I enclosed equal to integral J dot ds over the surface. Now we have both the terms closed integral H dot dl and I enclosed over the surfaces. So as both the RHS are equal here, we can compare their magnitudes. So by comparing both the equations 2 and 3 and the magnitudes of ds, the final equation we got is del cross H equals to J. This equation we can call, or we can take as the third Maxwell's equation. Or we can take this one as the first Maxwell's equation for magnetostatic fields. This del cross H equals to J is the third Maxwell's equation. Now this expression is in differential form. So we can take it as differential form of third Maxwell's equation. And if you want to take the same in integral form, then integral form of third Maxwell's equation is closed integral H dot dl equals to I enclosed. And if you take del cross H, which is equal to J, that never becomes 0, because if there is a closed path and there is a current, then always there is a current density. So J never becomes 0. So as J never becomes 0, del cross H also never becomes 0. This is due to the reason that magnetostatic field is not conservative. Due to that reason, del cross H never become 0. And this is about Ampere's circuit law. Next, we will go for the applications of Ampere's circuit law. This Ampere's circuit law is used to find out the magnetic field strength in different current distributions. In the different current distributions are line current, surface current and volume current. In that first I am trying to take a line current which is of infinite in length. So with the help of Ampere's circuit law, in case of line current, now we will go for the calculation of magnetic field strength H. And here to apply Ampere's law, the basic condition is current distribution must be symmetrical current distribution. Or here I am taking the line current. See, here I am taking Cartesian coordinate system in this figure. X, Y, Z are coordinate variables. And I am taking a current element which is infinite in length. And that current element is placed along Z axis. Now this thick line represents the current element which carries a current of I and that is placed along Z axis. Now I am trying to calculate magnetic field strength at point P, where point P is the field point where we need to calculate the magnetic field strength. Now the condition is this current element must be surrounded by a symmetrical path. That's why I have constructed a symmetrical path. That symmetrical path here we are calling as Amperian path. And I am taking a differential length dl on this Amperian path. And now here magnetic field direction is along phi. I am trying to calculate magnetic field along phi direction, where phi is the angle generally measured from x-axis. So now according to the statement of Ampere's circuit law, we have to calculate closed integral H dot dl, and that we have to equate with current I enclosed. Here if you take Amperian circuit or Amperian path that enclosed by, or this current element is enclosed by Amperian path, and here the current within this closed Amperian path is I. That is the total current carried by current element. So Amperian path I enclosed for this Amperian path is I. So I enclosed we can directly write as I, and closed integral H dot dl. Now we are interested to find out this H along this path, right? And this path is similar to phi path. So now we can replace dl with rho. dl which is along phi direction is rho d phi a phi. We all know this one. dl meaning dl along phi direction is rho d phi a phi. And h we can take as h phi a phi because h is also along phi direction. H along phi direction is h phi a phi. Now we have h as h phi a phi, dot dl is rho d phi a phi. So then a phi dot a phi, this we can write as 1. A phi dot a phi is 1. Then the remaining components are closed integral h phi. This we can take out of integration h phi into closed integral rho d phi. Now this rho is also constant. This rho is radius of the Amperian path, which is also constant, that we can take out of this integration. Then the remaining component h phi rho into closed integral d phi. Integral d phi is phi, and phi is taking the limits from 0 to 2 pi. Then by substituting phi limits, final component we got is h phi into 2 pi rho. So closed integral h dot dl value is h phi into 2 pi rho, which is equal to I enclosed. Here I enclosed is I. So then by equating those two, h phi equal, we can write h phi as I by 2 pi rho into a rho. Here we have this is a phi. H is I by 2 phi rho into a phi. This is about the magnetic field strength value in case of an infinite long filamentary current which is placed along Z axis. And from this what we can say is, if you place a infinite long current element along Z axis, the resultant magnetic field strength is along phi direction. This is the application of Ampere's circuit law in case of an infinite line current. In the next classes we can discuss about calculation of H with the help of Ampere's circuit law in case of infinite sheet and infinite wall. And this is about Ampere's law and the applications of Ampere's law. Okay, thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.